Hello friends, and welcome to today's gentle flow. I hope that you have had a wonderful week and that you are ready for this practice. So we are going to start just by coming into a really comfortable seat. If you would rather lie down, please feel free. Just get yourself nice and comfortable, making sure you have enough room around you and that you are in a space that's going to allow you to get really deep into this awareness of how your body's feeling, how your breath is moving through your body, and what's going through your mind throughout your practice today. So if you have children running around you, then that's absolutely fine too. But if you can find yourself a space that is a little bit more quiet, that you have space to move around you, I would highly recommend making this time and creating this space just for you to really delve deeper into your practice today. So once we find our really nice comfortable seat or that position that we want to start our practice in, whatever that may be, we're just going to ground down through the sit bones or through the spine, depending if you're lying or sitting down. And let's just begin to come into our practice. So allow yourself to arrive, just letting go of perhaps any of the stresses that you have experienced today, anything that has been full on, any sort of thoughts in the mind that have been weighing on you, just allowing yourself to let everything go. And just start here now, on your mat, in whatever space you're in, coming into your practice. And know that you don't have to be showing up in any particular way, but the fact that you are showing up at all is just the most important thing and the most amazing thing. So well done for making it onto your mat today. Let's just take 5 deep breaths in and out through the nose. We're going to deepen the breath, become really aware of the breath, and then try and maintain this really nice steady deep breath throughout our practice today. So you can bring a palm down onto the belly, or a palm onto the belly and a palm onto the heart space, and just become aware of that breath. Notice how it feels moving through your body. And then when you're ready, we're going to take 5 rounds of breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the mouth. In through the nose. Belly expands out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Just 1 more. Slower, deeper. Exhale. Well done. So just noticing perhaps any differences in the body or in the mind already after just 5 rounds of breath. Maybe you noticed that maybe you weren't breathing very deeply at all before we went through those 5 rounds of breath. And at this point, as we've reached hopefully a state of more awareness of how our body's feeling, and hopefully perhaps achieved a little bit more of a state of relaxation in our body and in our mind, allowing yourself to set an intention for your practice today if you feel called to. Keeping that hand on the heart space and that hand on the belly as you bring this intention through, and letting yourself perhaps repeat this intention in your mind or out loud a couple of times just to really solidify it, to bring it into the world around you. Whatever this intention may be. I've been working with the mantra, I am enough. So if you feel called to use this mantra today, please feel free. And when you feel ready, when you've set this intention, you can just allow the hands to come down away from the chest and away from the belly. Find yourself moving into a seated position if you're not already in one. And if you're already seated on your mat with crossed legs, we're going to start to pull the soles of the feet onto the mat, and we're just going to turn around to face the top of the mat. So what we're going to find is a little boat pose to just start to warm up through the core. So we're going to take a hold of the knees and start to lean back slightly. We keep our chest nice and open. And just staying here, if you feel called to, holding onto the knees, you'll notice an engagement in the core. If you feel ready, you can reach the arms out on the outsides of the knees, holding here. And if you feel called to move even further, maybe you come up onto the tippy toes, or maybe even start to lift one foot up and then lower it down at a time. So lifting one foot up, toes point right out in front of that knee, and then lowering back down. Very good. Just noticing how this feels, noticing that core switching on. And we're going to move a little deeper. Make sure that breath stays nice and slow and deep and controlled. Very good. Maybe you start to move both toes up, parallel with the knees. Very good. From here we can hold, or we can bring the palms together at the heart space. We're going to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Very good. And start to take your right elbow over towards your left knee. And then back to center. Left elbow to right knee. Back to center. Starting to almost feel like a little crunch as you come into that opposite knee with the elbow. If you feel called to, come a little bit lower into that boat each time you come back to center. Good, we've got 3 more rounds of breath here. Good, 1 more. Deep breath in, deep breath out as you crunch. Lower the feet down. Let's give our knees a little hug. So you can pull them right in close to the chest. Maybe drop the chin down to the chest. And what we come to here is taking a hold of those knees again and starting to pull the chest close towards the legs, reaching an extension through the spine. Roll the shoulders back. And then flexion, rounding the spine, dropping the chin down to the chest and letting the lower back round out behind you, making a little curve with your spine. Inhale, pulling forward. Exhale, rounding, rolling the shoulders forward, dropping the chin down. Beautiful. Again, we come through 5 rounds of breath. Getting that spine nice and warm. Becoming aware of all of the sensations in the body as we do so. Just 2 more rounds of breath. Exhale, rounding. Good, 1 more. Deep breath in. Pull the chest forward. Knees come in towards the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Beautiful. Let's come all the way up, starting to let the knees open and the soles of the feet come together. From here, we find our bound ankle pose. So we can take a hold of the soles of the feet with the hands, or maybe start to walk the hands all the way out in front. Whatever you feel called to do. Coming into a nice little forward fold here. feeling the hips open, little stretch in the inner thighs, and just letting yourself fold as far as it feels comfortable for you. We don't have to reach the forehead all the way down to the ground, but if it feels like it can come down towards the soles of the feet or the ground, let yourself go there, rounding through the spine. Don't worry about that alignment at this stage. Just letting yourself feel that little opening through the hips. Breathing nice and deep, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the head, relaxing the neck. Very good. Just a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. Slowly start to take the palms back onto the mat and come all the way up to that straight spine. Let's pull the knees in together and then sweep them over onto one side so that we can find our tabletop position. Hands come in under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Very good. Let's just take a little stretch through the sides of the body, gaze back towards the feet on each side of your body. So stretching through the left side and then through the right side. Left side and then through the right side. One more time on each side, feeling that nice side stretch. Beautiful. Then just allow the hips to come all the way back to the heels. Finding an extended child's pose, fingertips reaching right out in front and the forehead lowering down. We leave the knees in right under the chest. Take a deep breath in here and a deep breath out, just noticing how the shoulders feel today. Noticing perhaps the forehead pressing into the mat. Noticing a lengthening through the spine. One more round of breath here before we start to move towards our big cobra or our upward facing dog. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to round the spine. Hips lift up off the heels. Round the spine all the way up towards the ceiling. And then we allow the hips to drop forward and we come towards our big cobra, if you can reach there. If not, completely fine. Allow yourself to just lower as much as you can, making sure that the hips are under the shoulder, the wrists are under the shoulders, and then letting the chest press forward. The shoulders roll back, and the shoulder blades squeeze together, finding an extension through the spine. Very good. From here, we slowly reverse that movement, pulling the hips back and lowering them all the way down towards the heels behind us. Let the forehead lower back down to the mat. Again, round the spine. Drop the hips forward, press the heart space forward, roll the shoulders back. Maybe you lift the chin if it feels good, really pressing into those palms and pressing into all 10 fingertips. Very good. Exhale, let's move the hips back to the heels. Lower the forehead all the way down. Just one more round here. Roll forward. Drop the hips forward, open the chest, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Maybe you lift up off the knees, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. From here, we start to tuck the toes and we find our downward facing dog, reaching the hips all the way up and back and pressing the chest back towards the bottom of the mat or the back of the mat. When you've found your downward facing dog, take a few moments to just pedal out through the feet. Maybe you let the hip drop down on that knee that you're bending so that you can find a little twist through the sides of the body. Pressing again through all 10 fingertips at all times. Noticing how those hamstrings are feeling today. If you're practicing this in the morning, and just allowing yourself to be a little tighter than if you were practicing this towards the evening. Just remembering when we go to sleep and we wake up all cold, we've been still all night. It's a little bit harder to find these stretches right at the beginning of our practice, so be gentle with yourself. Let's just take one more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Let's lower both heels down. Very good. Let's start to take a deep breath in. We're going to bend through the knees and gaze between the palms. As you exhale, let's slowly start to walk the feet all the way to the top of the mat. And then when you get there, lower the chest down, hugging the legs in towards the chest. The forehead can just relax down in towards the shins and the top of the head down towards the mat. Noticing again how these hamstrings feel. Good. From here, let's start to release those hands down towards the mat and roll all the way up to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae. Slower than you want to. The head and the neck and the shoulders come up last. Let's round those shoulders or roll those shoulders up towards the ears and then all the way back. Very good. So we've found our mountain pose Tadasana at the top of our mat. Let's take a deep breath in. Finding Urdhva Hastasana. As we exhale, we're going to sink the hips back into chair pose. Very good. So hips reach down and back, chest stays open. We take a deep breath in here. As we exhale, we fold forward, planting the hands down. Good. Take a deep breath in, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands down. Let's step the right foot back. Finding a low lunge or runner's lunge here. Left ankle stays under the left knee. Deep breath in. Exhale, planting the hands down. Let's set that left foot back to meet the right. Good. Let's lower the knees down for our first chaturanga. Good. Knees lower down, elbows bend straight back as we start to lower down. Exhale. Good. Inhale, pull the chest forward, rolling the shoulders back. Maybe you find your upward facing dog or maybe just baby cobra here where I am. Exhale, lowering the forehead back down. Good. Tuck those toes under, press into the palms and find your downward facing dog. Very good. From here, we take a deep breath in, right leg lifts high, finding three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee into the nose, and we step the foot between the palms. Good. Back heel peels down, left heel peels down. Opening out to our warrior one. So keep the hips facing forward if you can, and reach the hands all the way up towards the ceiling. So we're trying to keep the hips facing forward towards the front of the mat, maybe the front corner, but not facing the side of the mat like in our warrior two. So fingertips reach all the way up. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands come all the way down, framing the front foot, picking up that back heel. Good. Take a deep breath in here in your low lunge or runner's lunge. Exhale, let's step the left foot forward and lower down into our forward fold. Very good. From here, deep breath in. We find our halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, we find chair pose. Sweep the hands all the way forward and overhead, sinking the hips down. Good. Deep breath in. Good. Exhale, we reach all the way back up to our Tadasana. Palms come together at the center of the chest. Very good. Let's repeat that all over again on the other side. Deep breath in, we find our Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, we sink the hips down and back, finding chair pose, Utkatasana. Deep breath in. Exhale to fold. Beautiful. Deep breath in, halfway lift. Fingertips to the shins or to the thighs. Exhale to fold all the way down. Planting the hands down. Left foot steps back this time. Let's find that low lunge or runner's lunge. Inhale. Exhale, palms plant down, framing that front foot. Step the right foot back. Moving through your chaturanga, whatever that looks like for you, lowering the knees down or coming through your full chaturanga. Elbows bend straight back. Inhale to find baby cobra or up dog. Exhale to reach back with the hips, finding your downward facing dog. Beautiful, deep breath in, left leg reaches high. Exhale, knee into the chest. Step the foot between the palms. We find that low runner's lunge again here. Peel the back heel down and reach the fingertips high, hips facing towards the front of the mat, finding your warrior one. Good, deep breath in, reaching those fingertips high and opening the chest, shoulders relax down. Exhale, hands come all the way back down, framing that front foot, pick up the right heel. Good, deep breath in, gazing in front of your mat here. Exhale, stepping that right foot forward to meet the left, lowering the heart space down towards the legs. Good. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Find that chair pose. Inhale. Hips reach down and back. Arms reach overhead. Good. Deep breath in, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart space, down in your Tadasana mountain pose. Good job. We're going to do that one more time on both sides, moving a little faster. Keep it nice and controlled. And just make sure you're taking that modified chaturanga if you need to, making sure that everything feels good in your body. When you're ready, let's flow. Deep breath in. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, chair pose, sink the hips down and back. Deep breath in here. Exhale to fold. Deep breath in, halfway lift, hands to the shins or the thighs. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands down, right foot steps back, finding that low lunge or runner's lunge. Deep breath in, gaze forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands down, step the left foot back. We come through that chaturanga, lower the knees down or full chaturanga, your choice. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, all the way back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, deep breath in, right leg lifts high. Exhale, knee into the chest. Step the foot between the palms. Back heel lowers down. Let's find our warrior one. Deep breath in. Good. Exhale. Let's bring it all the way down, finding that low lunge. Pick up the back heel. Deep breath in, gazing forward. Deep breath out, left foot steps forward, forward fold. Good, halfway lift when you're ready. Deep breath in, shoulders roll back. Exhale to fold. Chair pose, sweep the hands overhead, hips reach down and back. Pulling through the belly button all the way in towards the spine. Good. Inhale, let's find Urdhva Hastasana, straighten the legs. Exhale, let's bring the palms all the way down to the heart space. Deep breath in, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, sink low, chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale here. Exhale, hands down over the front feet, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands down, left foot steps back. Gazing forward in front of the mat, roll the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands down, step the right foot back. Move through your chaturanga. Weight over the palms, knees can lower down if you like. Inhale, find baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Good, deep breath in, left leg lifts high. Exhale, knee into the chest. Step it between the palms. Peel the back heel down. Let's lift, sweep those hands all the way up towards the sky. Pressing the chest forward, rolling the shoulders back. We've found warrior one. Exhale, hands come down, framing the front foot. Pick up your right heel. Let's step it forward. As we exhale, find forward fold. Good, deep breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good, chair pose, sink the hips low, sweep the hands all the way overhead. Good. Inhale, find Urdhva Hastasana, straighten the legs, hands above the head. Exhale, bring the palms together all the way down to the heart space. Beautiful work. Just take a moment here, lifting the palms all the way over the head. Find Urdhva Hastasana, deep breath in. As you breathe out, let's bend over towards the right, press the hips towards the left, keeping the hands in the same line as the feet, as the hips, as the belly button, and as the shoulders. In through center as we breathe in. Exhale over to the left. Good. Deep breath in, move back through center. Over to the right, one more time on each side. Good, all the way back through center, deep breath in, straighten the spine. All the way over to the left. Press the hips to the right. Very good, we come all the way back to center, deep breath in. Exhale, let's fold all the way down. Find Uttanasana, forward fold. Good, halfway lift as we breathe in. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale to fold, planting the hands down. And walk, step or jump the feet back, finding your plank pose. And from there, moving through your chaturanga or straight back to downward facing dog. When you reach your downward facing dog, maybe staying here to pedal out through the feet for a few breaths, or if you'd like, moving the knees down and taking a little break in your extended or regular child's pose. Just 3 breaths wherever you choose to land. If you're in your downward facing dog, maybe you're just pedaling out through the feet. Maybe you're letting those hips drop down as you pedal out through the feet. Or maybe you're rolling forward to plank and pressing back to your downward facing dog as you breathe. Very good. Just one more deep breath in. If you're in that extended child's pose, starting to make your way back to downward facing dog now. Beautiful. Meeting in downward facing dog now. We're going to lift our right leg high as we breathe in. When you're ready, find 3-legged down dog. As you breathe out, let's start to pull the right knee forward, all the way behind the right wrist. We're finding pigeon pose here. So let that ankle pull forward towards the left wrist and slide that left foot back, releasing it down onto the mat behind you. We can lift up onto the fingertips here and make sure you take a little gaze behind you, checking that your back toes aren't coming in towards the midline like this, but they're pointing straight back behind you. Very good job. Let the heart space be open, roll the shoulders back, and see if you can feel the hips even, or if you can feel them maybe dropping over towards that right side. Maybe you can feel them dropping over to the left, but probably you'll feel a little lift through the front of this left hip. So if you can, see if you can even out the hips, even if it means lifting a little up off the mat. Then when you're ready, if it feels good to do so, Let yourself fold forward, walking the hands down, just right in front of you. And let yourself fold down. Maybe the forehead comes down towards the mat or onto the forearms. And just let yourself relax, closing the eyes, letting the shoulders come down forwards towards the mat, letting the spine be long, and just letting that back leg be long out in the mat, on that mat behind you. Spend a few breaths here, just breathing deeply and noticing how you feel in that right hip, in that right glute, noticing where the sensations feel quite extreme and whether you need to maybe soften the pose a little for yourself or just breathe into your body in that space where you can feel this stretch really intensely. Perhaps there's something there that you can release. Just taking one more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. And then starting to slowly bring the hands back onto the mat. Starting to slowly lift the torso. Walking those hands back in front of the hips. And then just noticing how it feels here before you start to tuck those left toes under and start to lift the left knee. Lift the hips a little and start to maybe round through the spine so that you can pick that right knee up, bringing it up to the elbow. Step it all the way back when you're ready, finding your downward facing dog. And just take a moment to notice how the right side feels in comparison to the left after going through our pigeon pose on one side. When we're ready, left leg lifts high as we breathe in. Find your three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee pulls in and comes all the way behind our left wrist with the ankle pulling towards the right wrist slightly. The deeper that you would like to come into this stretch, the further forward you're going to pull that front ankle towards that opposite wrist. So when you're ready, releasing those hips down, releasing the back foot onto the mat. And again, checking behind you to see that those toes aren't sickling in towards the midline. And checking how the hips feel, whether you feel like you're sliding over to that left side now. And really evening it out so you're facing the front of the mat. And even if you do have a little lift in the hips, at least they're even, your body's not trying to cheat in any way. I would rather you take it a little bit softer and slower than to try and push yourself to go deeper but end up doing the pose not in the right alignment. So making sure it feels good, you're not forcing anything on your body. And then when you feel ready, you can start to walk those hands forward, maybe coming down onto the forearms, maybe even resting the forehead down onto those forearms, stacking the arms, if that feels good. And again, just sending the breath to that area that you can feel this stretch the most intensely. Noticing where that is for you today. Perhaps it's usually in the same area with your pigeon pose. Whether you really love this stretch or whether you find it quite difficult, maybe both. Noticing if there's anything different about today's practice. Noticing if there's anything that you need to focus on releasing in this left glute, in the hip, in the groin. And just allowing yourself to use that intention that you set at the beginning of the class to get you through these moments of stillness. Maybe moments where the practice seems harder than the movement part of the practice. It's easy to be really present and in the moment when we're moving and flowing. But I can completely understand the difficulty in keeping the attention span and really being open and really being present when there is these periods of stillness and periods of silence, like in Shavasana. So using your intention or your mantra to come back to and to guide you through these moments in your practice. Whether that is, I am enough, or whether that was something else, some other intention that you set for today's practice. Just taking one more deep breath in and one more deep breath out. Then slowly starting to make your way all the way up. Bringing yourself up with the torso, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders back. And then this time, we're going to just let that left hip come down. So press all of your weight down into that left hip. And then we're going to swing that right leg all the way out in front. And from here, taking the knees up towards the ceiling, the soles of the feet onto the mat, and just allowing yourself to lay down on your back, slowly coming down, letting the spine be nice and heavy, and just taking a few moments to drop the knees from side to side. Noticing how you're feeling as we come down onto our backs. Notice how the shoulders feel as you drop the knees from side to side. Does the chest still feel nice and open? Noticing the lower back getting a little massage from the floor. Gorgeous. Just one more time on each side. Then slowly making your way back to center with the knees. And then gently starting to press the soles of the feet into the mat when they're about a handprint away from the glutes. We're going to work more on our bridges today. So pressing the soles of the feet down into the floor. You can press the palms down into the floor beside the hips as well. Tuck the tailbone under, so tucking the pelvis under and starting to roll the sit bones all the way up, rolling the lower back up, the mid back up, the upper back up, and then maybe even rolling the shoulders under and interlacing your fingers under your back. Today we're going to hold in our bridge pose. And if you would like to, you are absolutely welcome to try your single-legged bridge. So pressing that left sole of the feet really, really firmly down into the floor and starting to lift through the right foot. Toes up towards the ceiling. Keeping the hips even instead of dropping. Good, then slowly lowering back down. And starting to lift that left foot high. Pressing the right sole of the foot into the mat. Puffing up the chest. Hips are even. Just one more breath in. Then lower that left foot back down. Finding that double leg bridge. Lift the hips even higher just for one more breath in. Good. And as you exhale, release the grip of the hands and slowly allow your spine to release back down onto the mat, just vertebrae by vertebrae. Rolling down, releasing the hips down and then hugging the knees into the chest. Very good job. Let's just make some circles with the knees, big circles.
either in one direction or in both directions, making sort of a horseshoe shape. Good work. So just allowing your eyes to be closed down at this point, if that feels good to you. And from here, just allowing yourself to make any movements that you need to make to finish your practice, to complete your practice. If not, when you're ready, let's just allow our legs to lower down, either nice and straight, or soles can be together, knees open wide, whatever feels good to you today to finish your practice in, to find for your Shavasana. If you have a wall nearby, please feel free to lift the legs up the wall with the hips right against the wall for Viparita Karani. And if you don't have a wall, you can also do this for your Shavasana. It's just a little bit less passive because you'll be holding the legs up high. So whatever you choose, allowing yourself to make your way into that position, finding that beautiful, relaxing pose, whatever that is for you. And when you get there, letting everything slow down, letting everything soften. Untensing all of your muscles from head to toe. And just allowing yourself to be in stillness and in silence. Letting the breath deepen and become slow, rhythmic, and soothing. And perhaps if you hold a lot of tension in your body, your entire Shavasana will be just exhaling, letting go of all of the tension in your body. So just taking those rounds of breath and using each exhalation to release. Perhaps if you feel really, really relaxed and gentle and soft in the body, your Shavasana will be spent focusing on what the breath feels like and the rhythm of the breath as it moves through your body. And if you feel really relaxed, or if you feel the need to just let go of all of the control, perhaps it's a little too stressful to focus on keeping the mind from wandering off at this stage. And if that's the case, please feel free to let your mind wander, letting go of all of the control, all of the effort. And just spend these next couple of minutes comfortable in your body, being held by the floor, your mat, your props. The breath slow and even, and the mind soft.
ready, beginning to deepen your breath and taking as much time as you need before you start to make some movement in your body. Perhaps if you feel like you could use a little longer of a Shavasana today, allowing yourself to stay in whatever position you're in and taking a few minutes more to be still and be quiet. However, if you are ready, letting yourself slowly come back into your body, back into the space. And from wherever you are, extending some gratitude, some thanks to yourself for taking this time to nourish and nurture your body, to move, to allow the mind to be a little more still, a little more quiet. And I thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much, and namaste.